For generations, they were just whispers, a blurry photograph, maybe a story you'd tell late at night. But the sky, well, it is still full of secrets. We're about to dive into one of our planet's biggest mysteries, a topic that has literally gone from the pages of science fiction straight into the heart of national security. What we used to call UFOs have flown right out of folklore and into the halls of the Pentagon and the chambers of Congress. Seriously, the question isn't really if something's out there anymore. Now it's what is it? And trying to find the answers has become a massive challenge for modern science.
You know, the whole conversation has changed, and it starts with the name itself. The switch from UFO to UAP, or Unidentified Anomalous Phenomena, well, that signals a new level of seriousness. This isn't just about some weird lights in the sky anymore. We're talking about credible witnesses, often highly trained military pilots, reporting objects that just defy any conventional explanation.
And then, in 2023, the mystery got a whole lot deeper. The steady drumbeat of pilot sightings suddenly turned into a thunderclap of testimony from a high-level whistleblower. And he brought an absolutely incredible story out of the shadows and straight into the public record. This is David Grusch. He's a combat veteran who worked for the National Geospatial Intelligence Agency and the National Reconnaissance Office. Now, what's crucial here is that from 2019 to 2021, he was the NRO's guy on the government's UAP task force. By definition, that made him an insider. So what he told Congress, under oath, mind you, was just stunning. He claimed there's a secret government program that's been hidden for decades, and its job is to retrieve and reverse engineer crashed non-human spacecraft. Now, he wasn't saying he saw the craft himself, but that he interviewed dozens of officials who were directly involved. But the claims didn't stop there. They escalated. A congressman asked him, straight up, if the pilots of these craft had also been recovered. Grusch used this chillingly precise term, non-human biologics. Think about that. The allegation wasn't just that we found alien tech, but that we have biological proof of non-human intelligence. You can imagine these incredible allegations created an immediate standoff. You have a whistleblower's sworn testimony on one side and decades of official silence on the other. The big question became, how is the world going to react to this? And this slide really lays out the stalemate we're in right now. On one side, you've got Grusch's detailed claims of this huge secret operation. On the other side, flat-out denials. The Pentagon's UAP office says it has found no verifiable information to back any of this up. And NASA's been crystal clear, there is no evidence that UAPs are extraterrestrial. So what about the scientific community? Well, they've pretty much been unified in their skepticism. Astrophysicist Adam Frank really captured the feeling perfectly. The claims are based on hearsay. It's what one person told another person, not on testable, physical evidence. Without data, without something to analyze, science can't do anything. The demand from scientists is simple. Show us the proof. Show us the spaceship. Sean Kirkpatrick, who used to be the head of the very office investigating UAPs, took it even further after he retired. He said these allegations weren't evidence of some grand conspiracy, but a self-perpetuating story. Basically, a classic echo chamber where a story gets told and retold within a small group until it's just accepted as fact, all without any outside proof. Okay, so amid all this controversy and all these claims, NASA has laid out a totally different way forward. They're shifting away from testimony and focusing on a clear scientific roadmap to find what really matters: hard, verifiable data. In their own study, NASA basically pinpointed the core problem. The data we have on UAPs, for science, it's terrible. Sightings are totally random. The sensors that capture them, like a fighter jet's camera, weren't built to identify unknown things. And there's still this stigma that means a lot of pilots might not even report what they see. So we have lots of stories, but we don't have good science. Let's look at a famous case that perfectly highlights this data problem: the Go Fast video, which the Pentagon released. When you first watch it, it looks like an object moving at an impossible speed just above the water. It seems to be defying the laws of physics. But this is exactly what NASA's talking about. Once scientists got their hands on the raw sensor data from the jet, the altitude, the camera angle, the range, they did the math. And it turns out the object wasn't skimming the ocean at all. It was at 13,000 feet, and its incredible speed was just a parallax illusion, created by the jet's own movement. Its real speed, about 40 miles per hour, totally consistent with an object just drifting in the wind. And that go fast case is exactly why NASA has this four-part strategy to fix the data problem. They want to use satellites to study the environment around sightings, improve data collection with things like smartphone crowdsourcing, use AI to hunt for real anomalies, and, this is a big one, use their trusted name to get rid of the stigma so more high-quality data starts coming in. But even as NASA is building this new scientific framework, the fundamental mystery is still there. And when you have an absence of hard answers, that vacuum gets filled with speculation, pushing the boundaries of what we're even willing to consider. And this is where that lack of data creates a vacuum that some researchers are filling with some pretty unconventional ideas. For example, a recent paper explored what's called the crypto-terrestrial hypothesis, the idea that UAPs might not be from other stars, but from right here on Earth, just hidden from us. The authors threw out some really speculative possibilities, things like a hidden non-human species that evolved in secret right here on Earth, or maybe survivors of a lost ancient human civilization. They even entertained ideas like visitors from our own future, or something science just can't explain yet, an intelligence that our ancestors might have called magical beings. Now, let's be really clear. These are highly speculative theories, not proven science, but they tap into a really powerful idea that even on our own planet, in the deep oceans or maybe underground, there could be mysteries we haven't even begun to understand. It's a reminder that our world might not be as completely known as we think it is. And that really leaves us with the ultimate question. The search for UAPs, maybe it'll tell us less about who else is out there and more about who we are. It's a test of our scientific methods. It's a reflection of our deepest fears and hopes. And it's a measure of our ability to confront a profound and persistent unknown. The only thing we know for sure is that the mystery continues.